that it'd agree with me. You better be glad you're family. That's all I have to say. There are times when I'm known for being too serious, and River likes to rub it in any chance she gets. None of the other bishops have seen both aspects of my life except for River. She understands the medical field and might be the only one who gets me on that level, which is nice. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't excuse me from getting extra shit from her on a daily basis, at work and on the ranch. Sometimes when River starts talking, it's almost impossible to get a word in edgewise, but I'm relieved for the much-needed distraction. She goes on about traveling for the honeymoon, the baby, and work drama. Once we've finished eating, I head back to the ER. My pager goes off, and a nurse walks up, speaking in a rushed tone to fill me in on the situation. At least there's never a dull moment. "We have a patient who went into cardiac arrest as soon as he was admitted for chest pains. Dr. Bell is in there now." What the hell? I pick up my pace and enter the room, which is in complete chaos. A nurse is holding a barrier mask on the patient's face while a defibrillator is used to try to resuscitate the patient. "Charge it to 300, Emily orders, rubbing the gel and paddles together before pressing them to the patient's chest. The heart rate stays flat, and she asks for another charge, then another. Eventually, the heart begins beating slowly before moving to a normal rhythm. Oxygen is placed on the patient's face, and nurses scatter around the room. "Blood pressure is rising," Veronica says. I look over at Emily, who is as calm as can be. She gives orders, and the nurses in the room follow her instructions. Moments later, the patient is stabilized, and the cardiologist enters the room. I stand back and watch as Emily speaks with him, giving a full detail of what happened. After the patient is conscious and is told he'll be moving to cardiology, I exit the room with Emily on my heels. "Dr. Bell," I turn around, but before I can get another word out, she unleashes her wrath. "I'm not a fucking intern, so quit treating me and watching me like I'm one. And if I ever have to choose between saving someone's life and pissing you off, well, you're gonna have to be pissed." Not sure I really deserved that response, but I chalk it up to being in the heat of the moment. Since that man flatlined and could have died on her watch, I get it. "You've been here for exactly 1 day, and you have a lot to prove. Sorry, sweetheart, but you're not in Houston anymore, and as far as I'm concerned, you might as well be a damn intern. You're fresh out of residency." "What does Houston have to do with this?" she asks, glaring at me. "Considering who your father is, I think it has a lot to do with things. Bottom line is, if you want respect, you're going to have to earn it, Dr. Bell. Simple as that. No one here gives two shits who your daddy is, and you're not going to get any favors because of it. And I refuse to kiss your ass like all the other guppies who knew your father. I'm well aware of how all this works." If looks could kill, I'd be dead. But luckily, I'm already standing in the ER, so hopefully someone would quickly resuscitate me. I'm sure, by the way she's glaring at me, she'd let me flatline. Her jaw tightens, and she balls her hands into tight fists before storming off. It's obvious I struck a nerve. Good. In medical school, I had to work hard, and it didn't get any easier during my internship. There were no favors handed to me because my father was a reputable doctor. Every opportunity I was given was earned. I refused to allow someone with a silver spoon in her mouth to come in and act as if she's running something. With every chance I get, I'll knock her down a few pegs. It's the least I can do for her sweltering ego. Before Emily was hired, I was given a rundown of her history. How she graduated from the top of her class, received her residency at one of the busiest hospitals in Houston, and how she just happens to be the daughter of the famous Dr. Jason Bell. She's more than qualified for the position here, but I've learned over the years that being tough teaches people to be better. It's the #1 reason I've been successful. The silent treatment continues for hours, and when she's forced to speak, it's short and to the point. If we're able to keep this up, I might actually be able to work with her without any issues. She's so quiet as we check on patients.